Hello and welcome. Today I want to apologize for not getting any videos out for a while. There's been a lot of life events, life-changing events that has happened the past couple of years. And I'm just now getting back into the groove of things. Um, my father-in-law, we had to move him out of his house. I've had a death in the family. Then we had to move my mother in with us. I've had some facial oral surgery. It's just been one thing after another. So now we're back into the videos. So I apologize, and today I got a special request from Georgia stating that we have a student that has a hard time putting picots on a split chain on the back side. Yes, this is a technical problem for a lot of tatters because most split chains don't have picots on them. But you are going to run into those patterns that do. So today I'm going to show you an easy way to put them on, and I think you're going to like it a lot better. It's tedious. Myself, personally, I would just cut, sew in my ends, and be done. But there are people that are avid, don't want to sew in the ends. That's fine. This is for them. And I think you're going to like it, though. I really do, because I simplified it. Alright, so as you can see, on this side, we have the split chain. Here is a ring coming off, and I just threw some stitches on there and a picot, and then I went into the split chain. Then, on this side, I put a picot. This is the side that's the split. So, here we go. I'm going to turn this motif around. This is no set pattern. Let's get that straight. There is no set pattern for this. This is just something I threw together. So, what I've done is I created a ring as if you were working on a pattern. I created the ring, went into the chain, put 3 picots. Now, on this next ring, we're at the end. Say this whole thing is filled up with rings and chains. Okay? So now we're going to split the chain, come out to the next round. So what we're going to do is do our ring, come off with our chain, and I did 3 picot 3 up to where the split is. Because as you can see, when you split, you go into a mock picot and a split ring. Okay? So, my nose is itching, excuse me. Now, what we're going to do is do the split half. Also, a lot of you complain about you can't gauge it on how much thread to split. Well, I'm going to give you a rule of thumb is, everybody, it takes practice. So, nobody's perfect the first go around. Don't try to be. The focus is learn the technique. So what we're going to do on the second half of that split chain is we're going in here. I'm going to grab that thread. We can get it. Pull it up. Now you see, when I pull it up, it pulls all that over. That's fine. Okay? So then we're going to hook that thread on our finger because we want to come up on the back side of that ring to create the lock. Okay? That is a lock stitch. Now when I get enough down there, I say, okay, time to pull it back and see where I want that split to set. I want it to become even with the other side, so I adjust here. But as you can see, I have not locked it yet. Once I pull this shuttle, then it's going to lock. Then it's going to be a pain to get it out. So do all your adjusting. Make sure where you're coming out at is in the right spot. Then hold your everything together and pull it down to lock that in place. Okay, so now we have our thread in place. We've got our lock in place. Now we got to put our double stitches on here. Here we go. We're going to take our work and flip it back over to the front side. Now, what you're going to do is you're going to take your thread, this one, put it on the back as if you're working a cabone ring. Pull your loop up, run your shuttle through it, pull it down. This is where it gets fiddly, and it will drive you crazy. But if you want a split chain with picots, this is the easiest way to do it. If it doesn't want to hang on everything, you're doing good. Now once you get that done, you see it's got a little loopty here. Reach up there with a hook, the hook on your shuttle, whatever, pull it out through the back. Alright? Then pull it over into place where you want it to go. Start by tightening it down with this loop. You see what it's doing? It's coming over. Slide it into place. Now you're ready for the second half of that double stitch. Go right through that loop. Pull it down. If your thread twists, get the twist out because it's going to show. And pull that stitch on over. Okay, let's do that again. We're going to do 3 of these. And like I said, it takes practice to do this. And that second thread to go into your ball or your other shuttle tends to get in the way. So just flip it across, flip it behind you, whatever you got to do to get it out of the way. Because it gets caught in the way of everything. Alright, so let's go. We're going to pull that thread up like this. Loop it on our finger so we keep it right. Run our shuttle up through the back side. Pull it down. As you're pulling it down, roll it over when it's at a controllable stage. Pull it back through your chain and up. Alright, now we're back over on the flip side. We're going to tighten that first half of that double stitch over. Just like on a cabone ring. And we're going to do that again. Go down through. Tighten it up. One more stitch and then we're putting in a picot. So tighten everything up. We're going to pull up. And if you watch what you're doing, you can go ahead and drop that shuttle through. But when you're first starting, it can get fiddly. So just do what you can do. If you need to drop the shuttle and hook it on your finger, go ahead. I mean, it's each his own. That's what makes tatting fun. Everybody has their own way of doing things. There's no set of directions. There we go. We've got our 3 double stitches. Guess what? It's picot time. Now, you can do one of 2 things. You can use a picot gauge. Okay? And you can place your picot gauge in there, whatever width you want. Okay? Hold it and work your stuff. But you know what you're doing? You're working around all this. So, my advice is if you're going to use a picot gauge, use the flat ones. I usually just eyeball my picots, and most tatters do after time, after you get used to it. But it's your choice. Alright, so now we're just going to eyeball this one because I'm not going to fight with all that on video. So we're going to put in another double stitch. Now watch what I do with this first half of this double stitch. After I get it all set up and ready to roll over. Okay? Watch this. Pull that thread. Now, lay your shuttle down. You want to work that picot in. Watch what I'm doing. See how I'm working it in? Okay, before you close that picot, put it in the pinch. Now, run your shuttle. See how we've got it? back up through here, pull it down, tighten in that double stitch, and then pull it over. Now, I went in on the wrong side of that loop, didn't I? I sure did. Sorry about that, guys. Like I said, we all make mistakes. So let's try this again. We want to go in the front side of that loop, not the back side, because we're working on the other half of that double stitch. Alright, let's go down through that loop. And you want it to look like a double stitch. Now you see that picot's got gone because I got fiddly with it. Now before you lock everything into place, adjust, adjust, adjust. You've got a hook, use your hook. It makes it easier. Here's your picot right there. You see it? Pull this one down some. Right here is your picot. Alright? So, grab it, set it, lock it down. Now that picot's there. Slide it over. We have our picot. Like I said, this is fiddly, fiddly, fiddly. But it's the easiest way to get one in is if you turn your work over and then work from the front side. It'll be a lot easier to get it in. Because working from the back side, what happens is you're working this way. And it's not a rhythm that your brain can grasp. And you're going to be constantly ripping it out and losing that picot. Okay, so it's better if you turn your work. Alright, now we want to continue on with our other 2 double stitches. Remember, we've got our picot in. It's not going nowhere. It's going to dance, you know, flip around, do its thing as you're working with the thread. But it's not going nowhere. I think I'm a little bit swollen this morning. That's alright. And you just keep working. It's things like this, to me, that take time and concentration that I enjoy. Because it's a relaxation. To me, if I can focus in on something, I can really get relaxed. I just work weird, I guess. I don't know. But it is relaxing to me. Now here is our last double stitch we're putting in. Alright? Now, here's where we come in to our split ring. Everything's adjusted. We have a picot on each side. One here, one here. Now we're going to go into our split ring. And our mock picot. That makes our 3rd picot on this chain. So, we're going to go with our first half of that double stitch. Bring it down to where it looks just about the same as those other picots. Then, bring in that second half and move on. The rings on here were 6 picot 6. So, the chains were 3 picot 3, picot 3, picot 3. Alright, losing count here. 4, 5, and 6. Now, we're on the back side of that split ring. Pull us out some thread. What I like to do when I'm stretching my rings, especially with Elizabeth thread, you know how it's got that twist in it? I hold it up, pull that ring, and it automatically pulls the twist out. Solves 2 problems in one. Now, this is going to be the other half of that chain. Oh, that split ring, sorry. Now, watch what I'm doing here. I'm I'm going to move the motif out of the way, and we're going to go with our second half. Now when you pull that up, see how I'm lining that? So that this half and this half is about the same. And you just tighten it if need be. Pull that second half over. Let's see how many have I got. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And this one is 6. Now remember, the second half of the split ring is done starting on the second half of the double stitch. Remember, second half split ring, second half double stitch. Easy way to remember. Now we're going to close our ring up, hold everything in the pinch, close it up tight, make it look nice and neat, and there we have it. We've got our split chain with our 3 picots. And it looks similar to this one. So, remember, when you get to this part where you're splitting the chain, reverse your work to make it easier to work that second half with your picot. Now, I hope that helps, and I hope you've learned something today. And again, I'm very sorry I haven't been able to get any videos up. I've also succeeded in starting an Etsy store as well. I'm carrying tatting bags as well as some tatting supplies. My hope is to carry the most unusual tatting supplies that are on the market. It's going to be a one-stop shop type place, but I want to keep the prices low enough that you don't pay an arm and a leg for things. So, I'm not going to advertise my Etsy store here because this is for Georgia's class. And Georgia's classes are something that is free domain for everyone. So, I hope you learned something. I hope you have a wonderful day. I'm sorry I haven't been making videos, but I will get back into it. I promise. So until next time, thank you for watching and have a wonderful day. Happy tatting.